Okay, so let's see who are there in the house. So this is the time to start the live stream actually, and I am quite sure that it should be smooth, the audio should be good, and the video also should be fine. So Abby Matthew in the house, welcome to live stream, brother. Abby Matthew is our member of the channel, so thank you so much for joining. Rakesh Singh Rawat, hello, how are you doing? And we have, okay, so BL Kumawat, Banwari Kumawat is saying it's fine now, so that's a good news, by the way. Okay, now all okay, perfect. So we are good to start. So as the title says, we are gonna look at the different folder structure. Not different, actually, what I prefer to create whenever I create a Flutter application, I prefer one folder structure. Either it's a small one or big one. Of course, for the small ones, I don't use all of the files, all of the folders, but for the big projects, you need all of those structures so that you don't mess up, you don't have the spaghetti of code where you are like just struggling to find out, or if you have to change something, you should not struggle, right? So that's the thing. Bokos Dokos is asking, what's up? I'm doing really good. How are you guys? So let me know in the comment section if you guys are joining for the first time in the live stream or you are a continuous viewer, because I can see a lot of people who are my continuous, like who are long time viewer of my channel. So that's great to see those guys. And even if you are joining for the first time, you can let me know in the comment section by saying first time. Okay. All right. So Carlos Diaz has joined from Dominican Republic. Thank you so much for joining. Cesar, I'm doing good. All right. So we are good to start now. I'll share my screen where I'll show you the Flutter application. I will create one Flutter application, then I'll show you what are the folder structures. Can you talk about managing theming in Flutter? Yes, of course, we can have a little bit touch on that, but not complete theme management. Okay, Richard saying first time. That's good. First time. So many people are watching for the first time, and trust me, this video is going to be very helpful if you are trying to create any production level application, or if you're working on a big project. This video will really help you. So make sure you watch complete video. And even once this live stream is finished, I'm going to keep this video for your reference. So maybe I'll remove this intro part a little bit so that you don't waste up time there. Just a boot up thing to start with the live stream. Now, actually, I'm going to share my screen. Let me just check everything is working fine. The Streamlabs, okay, this looks great to me. So many people are watching for the first time. Okay, that's great, that's great. So for all the people who are watching for the first time, you can subscribe the channel CodeX, because here we share Flutter tutorials, Flutter tips and tricks, and a lot of essential things for real-time application. I don't really focus on creating the UI widgets and UI all the times. I do share a lot of skills and a lot of tips and tricks, which is really helpful for your application, which will really help you to create a production ready application. So make sure you subscribe the channel, and also you can take membership if you are really interested in that. Okay, so let me just share my screen, and before that, let me make sure my Visual Studio is running. That's fine. Let me hide all of my desktop icons, so I don't want to show you the clutter. Okay, all the desktop icons hidden. Perfect. Windows minimized. Here we go. Perfect. So now you can see my screen, but because now I'm sharing my screen, I cannot see any comments or something. So I'm just going to quickly run my video in my iPad so that I can see live feeds of the comments and videos. So let me just open this link. Come on. Yeah, here it is. Or maybe I can copy from here. This is just to read your comments in between, because I don't just want to type the code and leave you guys alone. It's a live stream. We need to have chit chat. We need to have question answer session. So that's why. Okay. This is good. I'm going to get shareable link. I don't know, somehow when I open YouTube in my iPad, it should have shown me the current live stream, but it doesn't show up. So for that, I have to do this thing where I need to copy this link myself and then launch it over here. Not a big deal. Okay, perfect. So it's fired up, and yeah, audio muted. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create one project and then I will show you the folder structure and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and create a new Flutter application. You can use shortcut Command Shift P in Visual Studio Code to create a Flutter project. I'm just going to do that on a desktop. Flutter project struct. Too much big name, right? But it's clear at least. Okay. Muhammad Azam has given a super chat of 20 rupees. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate. All right, Mr. Carroll in the house, you have a plan to make course Flutter in your channel. I do Flutter tutorials on my channel occasionally, like not occasionally, like I do the series occasionally, but I do upload videos regular basis. So you can find the series about CodeX, you can find the series about password animation, you can find series about REST API, HTTP client, and a lot of good stuff like where I do painting, the clock series. There's many good stuff on this channel, so you can consider subscribing if you haven't already. Okay, Pranay Chakrabarti is saying, I'm new in Flutter. Please give a guide how to learn Flutter easily. So you are in a right place, because in this video I'm going to show the folder structure. So let's not talk much and start with our project. First thing first, I always clear the comments, and the best way you can find all the comments by using this regex and just say replace all. That's a simple trick to remove all those comments, because now you are a Flutter expert. You don't need those comments to start your application, right? Okay, next thing up, what we want to do is let me just make sure, yeah, everything is working fine. Now you have to decide which state management you're going to choose. So I prefer myself CodeX state management, because it's not just only the state management, it has the routing mechanism, it has the dependency service, it has a lot of utilities. So if you haven't checked the CodeX yet, you can find a lot of tutorials, meaningful tutorials on my channel. So go ahead and check out that also once you finish with this live stream. So now, once your project is created, you need to define which package you are going to use for state management. So let's go ahead and import that package. I'm going to say flutter pub add get. Now with this command, you will like this Visual Studio is going to import the get package, and it's already imported here now. So we are good to start. Now we can we can mold our project in a way that it works with that particular package. Let me also check comments in between. Will you upload this video? Yes, this video is going to be there on my channel, so you can come anytime and check that. It's gonna be there for it's gonna be there forever unless something goes wrong. Okay, use get CLI. Why no provider? Okay. So Native World is asking why you're not using provider, because I'm a big fan of CodeX. I'm a big fan of how the thing work in CodeX. You can easily create variables and bind it to the UI with OBX, and that is really helpful. That is really fast for me. So I prefer using CodeX. And of course, you just give it a try. You just watch this video and also you'll fall in love with CodeX. So it's very simple. And of course, provider is good at what it does, but for me it is like a little bit more lengthy. It's like it doesn't suit my style. You can say like that. Okay, so we have the package in place. Now the most important part, you don't want to repeat this folder creation again and again. So for that, what I have done, I'll just show you in a moment here. I have a code template where I have a folder structure defined. Okay, and this is the folder structure, basically what I use in all of my application. You can see over here, and these folders have no files. This is just a folder structure. So I'm going to select all of them and just drag to the lib folder. And you have now a folder structure inside your application. It's that cool. Like, it's just a copy paste thing, but of course you don't want to repeat that. That's the point. So you can create whatever template, whatever structure you prefer to do, and you can just drag and drop inside your application, but you have to make sure that you don't have files in it, or if you have files, it is linked properly, it is referenced properly, so that you don't get the conflict of package name. So that one thing you have to make sure, otherwise you're gonna have this nice structure in the place. Now I'm not sure how I can zoom in the live stream. I wanted to show you real closely what are the folders I'm having right now. I'm not sure whether you can see it properly or not, but it should be fine. Just let me know in the comment section whether you can see all those folders, or otherwise I'll find a way to maybe like increase the size a little bit so that you can see properly. I'll just check few comments meanwhile. Okay, Banwari Kumawat, BL Kumawat is saying native because provider we need to write more code. Exactly, that's the point. Because provider you need a lot of boilerplate code. Even for blog you need a lot of code to implement a simple thing, whereas in GetX you just need one variable and you just bind it to the UI. It works like a charm. GetX rules her. Yes, Abby Matthew, you are right, GetX rules here. So CodeX is more like GetX kind of tutorials. But yeah, I have no hate for any other package. If you're using provider, still you can use this folder structure. You're using blog, still you can use this folder structure. There's no doubt in it. The things like I have created a base client, which also you can use in any package, right? Like any state management. But GetX is my test, you can say. Okay, you can see the folder structure. That is pretty much good. Zooming, control plus mouse plus wheel. Okay, let me just try. No, brother, I cannot do like that because it's not Adobe XD. Let me just try one more time. Control plus mouse wheel. No, it's not working. Anyway, okay. So the folder which I have here, let me just go one by one. I have a folder called constants. Now what it does, it has all the fixed values. Say for example, inside your application you want give a padding to your page. So not every page you will define the padding. That should be a constant because every page will have a same padding. Maybe it may be possible that project to project you have a different value. So say for example, one designer have given a page with a 16 pixel of padding and another designer have given with 24. So that will vary on project level, not in the page level. So for entire project you should have a common padding. So for that you can just go ahead and create a new file, app sizes. Okay, and here you have to define everything as a static constant value. So I'm going to say class app sizes. Now this is for global application, so let me give it static constant and double, and let me name it page padding. This is just for demo purpose. I'm giving you how you can deal with these files, because these files will define your folder structure. These files will define your entire application, how it's behaving. So now we have given the constant padding value, and this you can use across your application using app sizes dot page padding. And whenever you are creating constant variables like this one, you should name it all in the capital letters, or if you want some spacing then you can use underscore. So that's a best practice. Of course you can name it small, but constant value always should be in capital letters so that you can recognize anywhere in the code that this value has a fixed value. Okay, so that is one thing. Now inside constants you can define other things like colors, the strings, and there's a lot of things which you can define, and all the images also which you are using in the project. So say for example you have some assets and things like that, so you can just define app images. I like to keep the class name or the file name this way, app underscore images, because these things, this information is related to this app. Okay, so I'll say app images dot dart, and similar way you can say just name the class app images, and here static constant string, maybe logo. Okay, logo, and this will be the path of your asset folder. So as of now we don't have it, but just for the demo I'm just showing you, it will be something like this. So you don't want to write these image files inside your UI file, because you don't want to change everywhere. Whenever there's a change in the logo, there's a change in the asset, you don't want to touch all those files. You can just touch these files where in the constant, and it will reflect all over the application. So I hope you understood the idea of constants, and all the information which are predefined, which is not going to change over the time, so should be there in this constants folder. Let me save all and let's take few comments because a lot of people are asking here. Okay, Muhammad Azam says, every time I save wallpaper in list through GetX storage, it is overriding the previous values. Exactly, because GetX storage works on the concept of key value. So unless you have a different key, this is going to override the previous value. So if you want to, like, depending on the functionality you need, if you want to save always a new value, you can put some unique item, like unique key always to get the value. And if you want to override on the same one, you can use the same key. That's the thing. Okay, Wisdom is asking to upload this video on the live stream. Of course, this is going to be in the live stream section. So anytime you can come on my channel, go to the video section and you will find this video over there. So no need to worry. Muni Raja is asking Control plus to zoom. Okay, I'll try that. Multi-select checkbox, dynamic. What about folder by feature structure? Okay, multi-select checkbox, dynamic. I don't understand Flutter 0. What you mean by multi-select Flutter, please? Okay, maybe there can be another tutorial for that, but this video will just cover the basic folder structure and why to use something like that. So it will be just related to the folder structure because I don't want to create a 2-3 hours of live stream, and I can't even do that because I have a time limitation restriction. Okay. All right. So Banwari Kumar was saying, I know the actual use of constants. I always use constants for API URL. That's a perfect example of things. Like if you have any URLs, you can put in the constants because it's not going to change, right? Which offline database are you using? I'm using GetX storage for small storage purpose. Like if I want to catch some data, say for example, there's a lookup for country, lookup for anything like, so those kind of information I'm storing in GetX. If I have a big file or something, I directly access the file system and like that I use. If I need to query something, then I have to go for SQLite database. So basically in my current application, I'm using GetX. Short answer. Okay. So let's go ahead and move to another folder. So you understood the use of constants. Everything which is fixed value should go inside here. Sizes, images, strings, and everything. Okay. Now we'll move to the next folder, controllers. You are all aware of that because we're working with GetX. We are following MVC pattern. We are trying to do that. Okay. We are trying to simulate that. So in the controllers, you will have all the controllers. Of course, that makes no sense, right? Okay. But here is the catch. You're not going to put all the controllers in the root directory of controller. You're going to create folder for each single module. Now, what I mean with that, say for example, you have a simple application where you want to log in, sign up and show the dashboard. So basically you will have a login folder, and this we are going to repeat inside each folder because we want our folder structure, we should be manageable, we should be feasible to go through in a large project structure, right? So here we have a login folder. Inside that we will create login underscore controller. Okay, don't make it complicated by saying login page controller, login. It's a login controller. Login is the feature and this is the controller for that. Okay, similar way we can have a folder for sign up, and inside sign up we will have file called sign up controller. Okay, now you may say that there's only one file in each folder. Why like we are putting inside a folder? Because as the thing grows, you will have a OTP verification, you will have this verification, that thing, that functionality. So it's always good idea to put one feature inside one folder, because as it grows, you want to keep things organized. You don't want to mess up with the sign up controller. Sign up has a OTP, login has a OTP, both OTP controllers are mixing together. So you don't want to do that. That's why always keep folder per feature. So we're gonna have login controller and sign up controller like this. I hope this is clear. Let's take few comments and let's also move to the main dot because I am just showing nothing else than a blank screen. And one thing I missed unfortunately is I'm not showing my face to you guys. It's a live stream. I should have. Let me share the face cam. It's too much zoomed, but just adjust with it. I can't do anything with that. Yeah, maybe I'll position myself like this. Okay, now you can see myself and this screen as well, which will be good to watch, right? Okay, so now let's move to the another folder, which is models. And as I said, we are trying to do the MVC pattern. And again, here we are going to have different folders for different feature. Now, no need to create all of them. You understood already. In the services folder over here, what we're gonna do is we gonna write all the remote service, all the database service, or even some people prefer to call it manager. So you can call whatever you want, but there should be one folder which is responsible for interaction with API, interaction with a database. So I call it service. Now here I can put remote service, I can put database service, I can put local service, any particular thing which my application needs to communicate with other people. So maybe I'll create remote service, okay, or maybe I can have a base client if you are following the base client structure and base client APIs. So here I can create base client dot, okay. So all, as I said, all things which your app needs to communicate with the other party, you are gonna put in the services folder. Hope that makes sense. Let me close other files to the right. Okay. Rakesh, thank you so much for your feedback. Now it's better. Yeah, now you can see me, so it makes more sense, like who is talking behind the camera. I forgot because I started the live stream in a little bit hurry, so it happens. Okay, Harsh Jain is asking, please tell what is models. I'll come to that. Okay, so, and let me also try command plus plus as someone suggested. No, brother. Yeah, it's working. Command plus plus is working. Thank you so much for that. I didn't knew that. Okay, at least we have something to start. It's just like a Google Chrome thing. Yeah, and if I say command 0, does it reset? No, it doesn't. Okay, but at least we have a better view now. So let's go ahead and talk about models. So because we're working with MVC, now I'm repeating myself, I know. Each of your data should be represented in the form of model. Now what I mean with that, you are writing the comment in the comment section and you can see list of comment with other users. So basically there's a model for every single comment which holds information about that comment. So your profile picture, your comment date time, what you have commented, what is your channel name, all those information will go inside one model. And model is nothing but a class which has all those related properties. So the comment class will have all the information regarding your comment, and that is one model. I'll put inside a model folder. Then I will create a list of comment which I will show in the list view, which you can see right now in the comment section. Makes sense, right? Yeah, control minus to zoom out, I can understand, but there's no control 0. I want to reset to the original, like snap back to the original position, but that is not there, but it's fine. We can manage with that. Okay. So does it show how much zoom do we have anywhere? That's fine. We are exploring VS Code as well. Okay, we have some notification. Somebody subscribed or what? Okay. What is the model migration to database? There's no migration actually. You do caching of the data in the database. Like whenever you call API, you store that data in the database first and then you show it to the user, because you may want to show that data later in for later purpose. You want to store that. So that is the thing. Okay, let's quickly move to utils, because we have done with we have discussed the services folders. In utils, you're gonna keep all the helper files. Now what I mean with the helper files, because inside your application, and this can be unique, this can be generic, okay, it totally depends what all files what all methods you're gonna have. Now you can create something like helpers dot. Let me just check Streamlabs. I'm getting, okay, so many people are subscribing. Thank you so much, guys. Adam has subscribed to the channel. Pankaj Dahal has subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing. And we're gonna have good session, good videos coming up as well. So if you haven't subscribed yet, this is the time. Go ahead and hit that button. Okay, so next thing, we were discussing about the utils. Let's carry on with that. Helpers class. Now in the helpers, you can create, like you can build your own library. Now what I mean with that, say for example, you are trying to show a mobile number to the user, but mobile number is in like 15 digits are printed, like you have a complete mobile number with you, but you want to show that in a formatted way with the spaces, with the parentheses and all those stuff. So what you can do in the helper, you can create a method format mobile number. And what it will do, basically, it will show you the formatted number. And just a second, a lot of people are subscribing, that's awesome. Okay, so it will show you that formatted mobile number, and this thing you can use inside any of your application. So like over the time, your helper class should grow, and you should not be writing this class every time you create a new project. So for mobile formatter, for email validation, all those small and helpful things you can keep inside this helper class, where you want to define the functionality and use that in the another project. That will really expedite your development. So many people are taking like subscribing to the channel and following me on the Facebook, so you can hear that sound. That's really nice of you guys. How many people are watching? Let me just know. Let me just check that. 63 people are watching. That's great. Okay, so I hope you understood what we are going to do in the helpers. We're going to create all those reusable functionality in the helpers, so that you can drag and drop these helpers inside any of your other project. And remember, you should not have functionality which is bound or which is tightly linked with your current project. So never pass any object or any object of the class. Say for example, comment, you should not pass to the helper. You should pass the exact string information, like a string, integer, and all those information as a parameter, so that this should be readable, this should be compilable for the other projects as well. So don't make it tightly coupled, keep it reusable. Okay, let me have some water. Okay, so let's take few comments also before we jump to the last and important folder, views, of course. Okay. Exactly. Cesar Osorio is saying model is structure your data. Exactly, that's what it is. AHK Studio says please make a complete tutorial for Firebase. Firebase is something I haven't touched, guys. I will do that once I'm ready with it, once I have enough time for that. So keep the channel subscribed. Hopefully you will get notification one day that I'm doing Firebase tutorials. Okay. John L. Captain is saying, can you show is loading using OBS from controller to UI? I had that issue today doing login screen. So John L. Captain, I have a series of video on base client where I show how you can show different dialogues on failure. And there's a third part coming very soon where I'll show how you can show the loading dialog with a single common API. Okay. And if you want to do, separately for each individual page, you can easily do that with one variable, which is like a Boolean variable. You make it observable and put that in the root of your body and wrap it with the OBX. And when anytime the flag is true, you show the circular indicator, or if it's not, then you show the actual content. So that's the trick. Okay. Exactly. BL Kumamat has answered your question. It's is loading false.obs, and that you just wrap inside your page with OBX control, OBX widget, and it's gonna help you with the loading dialog. Okay. Good so far. 60 people are watching. So let's go ahead and discuss the views folder real quick. In the views folder, all the UI related things are going to reside, and we can categorize that further down in the dialogues, pages, and widgets. Now, what's going to happen over here? Again, as I said in controller folder, you don't want to keep all the files at one place and then jumble around when you're dealing with the multiple files or multiple functionality. You want to keep that separated per feature of your application. So inside the pages, generally, you're going to have login folder, then you're going to have sign up folder. Okay. Maybe I didn't create it as a folder, so you can just understand that. So per feature, you're going to create a folder so that it's manageable. And inside that, how you're going to create files is like sign up underscore page dot dot, so that when you read the name, you understand that it's a UI page. It's not something like a model. It's not something like a controller. So always name the files properly, and always use snake case. What snake case is? All small letters with underscore. If you want to separate words, use underscore, and keep everything small letter. Don't use capital letters. Of course, it's not gonna harm you anyways. It's not gonna say that I'm not going to compile, but it's a best practice to keep things in a small letter and with underscore, because this is readable in all the operating system. Because different file formats, different files with spaces are sometimes problem in Linux, files with slash and all those things. So it's always recommended to keep the files with a snake casing. Okay. So this is how you are going to name your page. And as I said, dialogues, because we are going to, if you're working on a big project, you're going to have multiple dialogues as well. So you have to keep dialogues folder for the, and here you can keep the dialogues directly in the root directory, because there will be like only 5 or 10 dialogues in the application. Like not every page has a dialogue, and even you can create a generic dialogue for showing error message, for showing success message, or if you want to share some information in the dialogue, you can create all over here. Now comes the most interesting part of your application, the widgets, right? Because Flutter is all about widgets. Okay, let me take few comments as well, and the people who have subscribed, a big shout out to you guys who have subscribed the channel right now. There are so many people are subscribing to the channel, liking on Facebook, so I'm really happy about it. JavaScript Point has subscribed, Rishabh Diman has subscribed, Dun Nagyan Man, this name is hard to pronounce. Okay, Diru Ard has subscribed to the channel. Okay, Shahrirar Taslim Iman has subscribed. Thank you so much. Vamp Beatbox has subscribed. Thank you so much, guys. Vishal, Anand, Vijay, Saurav, so many people have subscribed. I'm really thankful to you guys because of your kind subscription to the channel. And you can also go ahead for membership, because I share a lot of content for members only. I have a Discord channel dedicated for members, so you can get a lot of help over there. And of course, it will support channel CodeX to grow further. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead for it. Okay, so we are talking about the widgets folder. Now you have to analyze your project. Wait a second. Instead of showing empty page, I'll show the main dot. Okay. We are talking about the widgets folder. So you have to analyze your application really well and understand what are the things are reusable. Each application, like if you're talking about a business application, so each application will have input boxes, okay, which is called text field. There will be buttons, which is like almost every application has a button to do action. Then there will be things like drop down, then there will be things like list view and all those things. So you don't want to create text field in every single page. You should have a common widget for that. Even it's exactly the same widget, but still you should do it, because later on, somewhere at the point, if designer wants or if the management wants to tweak the text box a little bit, you don't have to go to the every single page and touch the text field. You should have that at one place. Just add one property and everywhere else it will work. So let me just show you what I really mean with that. So here you can define custom text field, okay, dot. So this text field will be, now this cannot be generic for all the application, but this will be pretty much for your current application. How is the look and feel for your text field? Now it happens that one project has a rounded box in the text field, one project has a flat text field. So per application, you can create these custom widgets and use inside your pages. So let me just create stateless widget real quick. And I think now I need to zoom out. Yeah, this is better. I'll say custom text field. So many things it has created and it's giving so many errors as well. Okay, let me just import material maybe. Yeah, done. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna create the text field over here, okay, and everything which you want to show it to the user, you're gonna accept in the form of parameter, because you want to make that control generic. And this is always a best practice. So even if you are using like for a couple of 2 or 3 pages, you make the field common fields like text field, buttons, drop downs, checkboxes, all those things, you make it generic, so anytime you can easily modify, easily change them. All right, and let's take few comments as well, because I can see Dhiru Ard has written some comments. I subscribe. Thank you so much, Dhiru Ard, for subscribing. JavaScript Point, thank you, brother. I'm also new to content creation. I'm also a developer. That's great. You can, like, we can have so many things. We can share a lot of things to grow. Even you can ping me on the Discord server where we can discuss about content creation if you want to do so. Tell me the difference between file naming, like using dots. Between file naming, like using dots. What you really mean, Minu? I didn't understood. What is the use of Flutter? Aran Bhateja has asked, what is the use of Flutter? Is anybody interested to answer that? You can write in the comment section below. Okay. Which Dart package is good for network, DIO, HTTP, or GET Connect? So I'm using HTTP as of now. DIO I have used in a I've used a couple of months back, and it's really powerful. So you can, depending on the need, you can use if you want something really feature packed thing, you can go ahead with the DIO. Or but basically, like, HTTP has enough functionality, enough of the things which will work fine for you, and it will keep your application lightweight. So I prefer to use HTTP. It totally depends on you. Brother Priyanshu, I tried that thing, control plus numpad 0. I don't have numpad 0, but I tried with the 0 key. It didn't work, but well, command minus is going to help me. No worries. Okay, so I hope you understood what are the different folder structure. Not different, but what are the folder structure I'm following for my production ready application. And this is pretty much going to help you in any application if you follow properly and you name it properly, because all the files inside your helpers, if you keep it generic, you're going to use in the next project, and it's going to save a lot of time for you, because you don't have to repeat this formatting process, you don't have to repeat all those things. And also these constants, pretty much you can copy in any file, any project, and just tweak the values like this. Say for example, you are using card or a structure like that, you can create more of this sort. I'll say card radius, because your designer today, he's saying the card should be this much rounded. After seeing the Windows design, Windows 11 design, he will say, no, increase the radius a little bit more, because Windows now added the rounded thing. So you can just go ahead and double that, right? It's that easy, and it will impact, like, it will be done inside your entire application. So the point here is, you don't want to repeat yourself as a developer. It's not about copy pasting thing, it's about making the things configurable. So this is like a configuration. You do it one place, it is applied everywhere. Even same applies for helpers. You create something which is like a configuration, which is like a template, and you apply inside every of your single project. All right, so I'm quite done with this folder structure now. I hope you people understood. If you still want to cover any point related to this folder structure, like if you have some doubt in your application that you think, where should I keep this file, so you can go ahead and ask that in comment section, and maybe after 5 or 10 minutes we're gonna wrap this live stream. And let me know also in the comment section if you are enjoying this live stream. Should I do more of such content on the live stream, or should I just prefer doing the normal video thing? Abby Matthew is saying, Bataja, you can use any IDE to create Flutter apps. That's nice. Even you can use the Vim. That is correct. Because see, in any language or any tool, basically what IDE provides is the way to interact with that tool. But what actually matters is the SDK. So Flutter has SDK, Android has SDK, iOS has SDK, everything has their own library. And basically the editor, it just communicates with that library in a proper way. You don't have to worry about all those communication. You just provide the path and it will do the rest of job. If you want to do that yourself, you can even do that in a notepad. So it's just like a simple, you're writing code, you are giving the command to the SDK, so it's going to work for you, just out of the box thing. Okay. Can make Flutter multi-vendor e-commerce app. You can make anything with Flutter. Okay, recently I created one project which is like fetching the comments from live stream and showing in the form of comment, which I cannot show today. That of course I will host that application on a server, because today my computer, it was running that Flutter application and I was running that on a different screen, and then I was trying to read that comments from there and it was too much of work for my computer, so I just closed it because it was lagging. So you can create pretty much anything with the Flutter. Okay, is it bad to have multiple OBX in one page? So I will recommend not to use OBX at the root level. You don't wrap everything inside OBX. You just use wherever it's necessary, and it's totally fine to have multiple OBX. Like say for example, you have 5 widgets inside a column and only 2 gets updated over the time or with the information change. So you just wrap those 2 widgets with the OBX and it's totally fine to do that. Even if you want to wrap 4 of them, it's fine, because it's still you are saving that one widget to update. So don't wrap everything inside OBX, just wrap whatever is needed. Okay, Mr. Carroll is saying, this live continue to complete the project or no? No brother, I just wanted to show the folder structure which I'm using, how I'm keeping the folder organized. For like complete application, I'm not going to show any application as of now. So just to clear everyone, this is just a folder structure, how you should structure the project so that it's easy to read, it's easy to understand, it's easy to modify. Okay, can handle backend Dart or Node.js for e-commerce app. Okay, so here Abhijit Singh is asking, how can I save state of a page instead of a page containing contacting backend again and again every time I navigate to, although no new data has been updated? How can I save state of a page instead of that? Okay, for such case, like see, if you have a page and controller bind together, every time you're going to call the page, the controller will be triggered. Now, if you don't want to update things or you don't want to call the API, you can just have a flag over there. Like once you call the API, once you get the success response, you just put a flag, like in app constants or somewhere, you just define a flag and mark it true. Next time you come there, you just check the flag. If it's true, don't call the API. It's that simple. And maybe you can define a time interval or some event where you mark the flag false again, and then you fetch the data again. So you can do that way. Okay. So let me just switch to the full screen cam. Okay. And I can just get rid of this one now. Perfect. So I hope you guys enjoy this live stream. If you have any question, if you have any doubt, if you want to ask anything, you can go ahead and write that in comment section below. And we will end up this live stream in a couple of minutes now. Where is a Flutter production ready app tutorial? Flutter production ready app tutorial. There are a lot of tutorials available which are production ready. Recently I shared a series of videos on HTTP base client, so that is also production ready, and of course I'm using that in one of my application which is going to be live in next month, so you can rely on that. More advanced GetX please. Sure, more videos are coming on a GetX, more videos are coming on a like best practices, more videos will be there on you know, full-fledged application instead of just part of it. So more things are coming up. BL Kumao, thank you so much for your nice contribution to the channel. Thank you so much for doing super chat. Okay, Sachin Developer Co. Can you make tutorial for how to create and develop Flutter plugin? Okay, that is something I have never done. I have planned to do that because I have created some useful utilities which can be converted to plugin. So once I do that, I'll share a video with you guys. Some important questions asked in interview. Most important questions are related to Flutter widgets. What are the difference between stateful and stateless widget is the most asked question. What is inherited widget? That is also one of the most asked question. And then there will be questions related to block pattern, the provider package. Of course, GetX, not much people ask question about GetX, but block and provider, they will ask you the questions because that's more recommended by Flutter. So people ask question about that. Okay. Difference between plant.model and plant_model. Okay. So Minu, finally I understood your question. See, plant.model. Okay, and plant_model. See, plant_model is just a file name with a dot extension. When you say plant.model. I really don't think it's gonna make any difference, but of course it's gonna have some, like, it's kind of a defining the folder, the hierarchy in that. But I've never tried having dot inside file, and I will not recommend you. If you don't have any purpose, especially for that, just don't include dots and all those things in the file, because dot is mainly used for extension, so it may have problem for you later in the future. Okay, MJ Ali, which is our latest member of the channel, saying please make a video on GetX with any API with the multiple pages like home page, detail page, like that. I have video on GetX with fetching the list of items from the server. So if you want to refer that, and of course you can simply go to the detail page with the ID and fetch another detail just like that. All right, so I hope you people love this tutorial, love this live stream. Make sure to leave the like before you leave the video. Hit the like button, subscribe the channel if you haven't already. So many people has subscribed today. I'm really thankful for those all. And you can take membership also. You can contribute on Buy Me Coffee if you like my tutorials, and there's more content available on my channel. You have to go to my channel. Let me just show you how you can go there, because if you're watching for the first time, probably you are not aware of the content which you can get from channel CodeX. So let me just go ahead and share with you guys. Here it is. Okay, so you can go to channel CodeX, go to video section. Okay, if it works, yeah, and you're gonna find all the videos which I have uploaded. There are so many useful and meaningful content for real-time application, how you can handle the API, how you create base API client, and then there's video for animations, then there's video for null safety. There's a keynote for Flutter 2, which was the event I captured, and then REST API design, Rive animation, and there's a lot of things related to GetX also. This video was in 30 minutes. I completed the entire onboarding screen in the GetX. So there's a lot of content which you can go ahead and check out yourself, and you will find a lot of things useful over there. And there are some important links on the right hand side where you can click and follow me on the social media, buy me coffee, or follow my GitHub repository where you will find a lot of projects as well. So I hope that will be useful. Perfect. So this was really nice live stream. So many people were watching. I really thank you all, and I will see you guys with a new video or new live stream maybe next week. So stay tuned, subscribe the channel, and I'll see you guys.